Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through the exciting process of creating your first GitHub repository and pushing your code into it. Additionally, I will show you how to configure your username and email to GitHub on the terminal for a seamless experience. So let's get started. So first thing, you have to do this to install GitHub in your PC. You have to go to desktop.github.com, and here you can see this link, download for window. You can download your GitHub for window from here, and you can also go to this Mac link to download for your Mac PC. And another alternative way of doing this is that you have to go to your terminal. As I'm using Linux, I have terminal. So if you are using Windows, you have to go to command prompt. You have to just simply write npm install git, and this will do all the things for you. This will download git for you, not all things. So yeah, the next thing we are going to do is to create our first GitHub repository. So first thing, before creating a GitHub repository, you should have GitHub account. If you don't have GitHub account, go and create your GitHub account. So go to GitHub login to login into your GitHub account. Here enter your email or username and password and sign in. Okay, so here you can see your previous repository. From this link you can navigate to different other links. Okay, so for creating your new repository, you can go to this green button or directly create repository from here, or you can also go to this plus button and go to this link, new repository, and here you can see this form. You have to fill it. Now let's name it, let's call it tutorial. Okay, so this is description. You can add description about your repository or what code you are going to push in this repository, whatever you want. And this is the public and private options. You can make your repository to be private to you, or to public, to show it to everyone, etc. You can have readme file, you have this git ignore file, and choose license. We are not going to add all of these things in a repo, so we just go to this create repository. So here we have our first repo. So now let's push code into it. So I have this React code. I want to push it in. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is to configure a username and email in the terminal. First command is git init to initiate your git repo inside it. It will initialize git repository in this. Okay, so the second thing we are going to do is configure a username and email. So we have to write this command, git config config global user dot name, and here we have to enter the username of our GitHub account. This is the username. You have to dev sonend 2, right? Enter, and now you have to configure user dot email, and now you have to enter your email here. Perfect. Enter. Now let's see the configuration list. Here we can see a name and email that are configured in this terminal. Let's clear this. Okay. Okay, so now we have to check. The first thing we have to check is the git status. What is the status of all these files? Are these files being added in the git? In terminal, we are going to create a local repository and add a file in that local repositories. And after adding those files, if we want them to push it to this, then we have to use other commands. So first we have to do this git status. Now we can see only this app is not, this app is changed. To add this file, we have to use this git add command. Git add command dot, this command will add all of your git files into the local repo. Git add dot git status. Now you can see all of these files that are added into git local repository. Let's clear this. Okay, now I want to commit all these files that are added, minus m my first repo. Let's call this my first repo. Enter. Now we have committed them. Okay, so the next important thing we are going to set is the origin, remote origin. What is remote origin? Remote origin is the origin which tells in which repository you want to push your file. So here we can see you have to use this git remote add origin command to add the origin, and this is the origin of this repository. So we will copy this instruction and paste it here. By this command git remote -v, we can check the origin and we can see it is tutorial, that the repository we have created. So now we have set the origin. Now the last thing we have to do is to push our these files that are committed, push these files into this repository. So do this, we have to run this command git push origin main. Main is the branch. We have multiple branches on github, main, master, or we can also create our own branches. For example, if two developers are working on the same project, so they will create different two branches and then merge these branches. So we have to create branches for this work. So let's ignore that information and do this simple work. Control shift v and enter. Okay, there is an error, failed to push some references to http github. Okay, so there is a thing. Now we have to link this with our, we have to do, it's like a two-factor authentication. We have to authenticate our github. We have to open this. Okay, github will authenticate us. Git push origin master, enter. This is the extension github wants to sign in your using github. We have to allow it. Okay, now we have to click on this button. It is used to here we are connecting our Visual Studio Code with GitHub. Authorize Visual Studio Code. Open Visual Studio Code. Okay, open. Okay, so when you are going to push your code first time in Git, the GitHub will require this authentication. So you should know about this, that this authentication happens. So now our code is pushed inside this branch that we have created. Let's reload it. And here we can see our code. Okay, so congratulations. You have created your first GitHub repository, configure your username and email, and push your code to GitHub. Now you're all set to collaborate with others, work on exciting projects, and showcase your coding skills to the world. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more programming tutorials.